Our region's building a brighter future on three innovations that all happened here in the mid-1950s. In 1955, Jonas Salk got clinical approval for the polio vaccine on 412 Day, no less, setting in motion the rise of our region as a globally leading center of life sciences research. The same year, two CMU researchers, Alan Newell and Herb Simon, wrote what's believed to be the very first AI program, seeding today's infotech economy. And around the same time, President Dwight Eisenhower threw the ceremonial first switch on the world's first commercial nuclear power plant in Shippingport, Beaver County, the pride of the Pittsburgh engineers who worked for Westinghouse. Well, the nuclear energy industry has had its ups and downs in the 70 or so years since, but Westinghouse still calls our region home. And today the company is rolling out new types of power plants that are smaller, safer, and cheaper to build than the huge facilities of the past. Here in our region, Westinghouse is developing mobile nuclear batteries and small modular reactors for a variety of uses. Dr. Rita Baranwal is Senior Vice President for the AP300 Small Modular Reactor at Westinghouse. And welcome. Good to have you here.
Great to be here. Thank you.
Yeah, you've been here, though, right? You've spent most of your career in and out of Pittsburgh and in and out of Westinghouse.
I have. I moved to Pittsburgh in the late 90s. To start my nuclear career at Bettis Atomic Power Laboratory in West Mifflin.
Okay, where they did the propulsion for all the nuclear submarines, another thing that happened in the 1950s.
Absolutely.
Yeah, well, it has been quite a journey for nuclear power. We keep talking about a nuclear renaissance. It's been off and on, you know, over the last number of decades. What's happening now that makes this real, this rethinking of nuclear energy and the role it can play?
So there's a couple different things that have come to a head over the past several years. One is the realization that communities, states, and countries need to decarbonize, both the electricity sector and the transportation sector. The second is that nuclear energy provides energy independence and energy security. And geopolitics being what they are, there are many nations that are realizing that having an independent energy source is absolutely vital to survival. So nuclear energy provides that. And of course, as always, nuclear energy has provided great paying jobs. And so that those four aspects really are the reason why we're seeing such a renewed, to my extreme pleasure, a renewed interest in nuclear energy.
Of course, there have been issues over the years, the cost overruns, the delays in getting these things built and operational, but now there are these new types of technologies. I mentioned the nuclear batteries, the SMRs. How are they solving some of the challenges that have gotten in the way of the industry in the past?
Sure. Westinghouse has its eVinci microreactor, which is a 5 megawatt reactor.
They're right down there in Etna, right?
They are right there in Etna at the Bridge Street location, we call it. And it's a wonderful facility. It's a combination of a manufacturing site alongside an office facility as well. And we launched that, actually, I was responsible for the R&D organization when we launched it 10 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
It wasn't called eVinci then, but the engineers that had this brilliant vision knew what they were doing, and lo and behold, 10 years later, we are in a building in Etna. And so it's really been exciting to see that come to fruition. What eVinci does, it solves several challenges, and that is being able to provide clean energy to communities that might be remotely located. They may not be on the grid. They may need access off-grid, if you will, and they may be in situations where they need disaster relief immediately, for example, following a hurricane or that type of climate event. eVinci can be brought in, installed in less than 30 days, and connected so that the communities can have that type of power.
So that's a little different than these SMRs, which are more like, I guess, traditional nuclear,
they are,
but smaller.
So I'm responsible for AP300,
okay.
Westinghouse's small modular reactor, which is it's based on our AP1000 technology, which is operating here in the United States in Georgia at Plant Vogtle, as well as there are 4 units operating in China. So what we did was, with the AP1000 technology, which is very successfully operating, we reduced the footprint, and the reason for that is it will then be faster to construct, And because it'll be faster to construct, it will also be less expensive than the gigawatt scaled reactors. So again, we're addressing a few things. One is the speed to deployment, and then the second is the capital outlay that will be required versus a gigawatt scale. Now, each reactor has its place and has its market, and that's why Westinghouse, we're in a unique position to be able to offer a reactor that suits that market.
So you really see these moving kind of on parallel paths.
Correct.
It's not like they're competing for the opportunity to be the nuclear source of the future. Where's the federal government in all of this? Do you think they're going to be supportive?
Oh, they are, and they have been. So having played a role in the federal government.
Well, you were there, right? Yeah, in the previous administration.
Right. They continue to provide support. And we are one of the unique sectors that has bipartisan support and continues to enjoy bipartisan support. Nuclear energy, as I said, provides good paying jobs. It will create new manufacturing opportunities. Let's go back to the Bridge Street location in Etna. And it will provide power 24/7. You asked what else is driving this need. Nuclear provides not only the electricity, but that can be used for desalinating water. It can be used for process heat and district heating. It can be also used to provide electricity for hydrogen generation. But what's been in the news most recently is that the data center demand that will be required now and in the near future also can be supported by nuclear power. So we talk about nuclear for AI and AI for nuclear.
That's why I mentioned Herb Simon and Alan Newell off the top. It all started here, and it sounds like the solutions are being developed here. Only a few seconds left. How soon might we see one of these facilities deployed?
So AP1000 is already licensed and can be, we can sign new contracts and have them start deployment and construction. AP300, we are still in the what's called the basic design phase. We've started the regulatory engagement with the NRC here, but in reality, it will be 10 years before electrons will be on the grid. For eVinci, it'll be, I would say, 5 years.
All right. Well, we're rooting for you here in our region for sure. Dr. Rita Baranwal from Westinghouse. Thanks so much.
Great. Thank you.
When we return, a pioneering plan to reduce the carbon footprint of natural gas by capturing coal mine methane. Please stay with us.